And ladies and gentlemen, as you can see,
E aí, descobriu o erro? Hoje a gente vai falar de coisas chatas. Um filme chato que te deixa com sono, ou trânsito chato que te deixa com raiva. Chato, em português, tem milhares de significados, enquanto que em inglês você precisa de várias palavras diferentes para exprimir cada um destes sentidos. Eu costumo ver como professor alunos de todos os níveis usando a palavra annoying para se referir a coisas chatas no geral, sendo que não é sempre que annoying se aplica. O segredo para usar o adjetivo correto está em pensar em qual emoção a tal coisa chata desperta em você. Por exemplo, uma das coisas chatas que eu falei antes, o filme ou trânsito, não é annoying e sim boring. Você sabe qual que é? Vamos ver em inglês. So, today we're going to be looking at the Portuguese adjective chato and how that when we translate it into English, it can cause a few problems for English learners. Let's take, for example, the sentence, meu chefe é muito chato. Now, depending on the context, we'll have to make a decision between two different words in English. Let's give you an example. Meu chefe é muito chato porque ele fala demais das reuniões. Now, in this example, we'd be using the adjective boring. My boss is very boring because he speaks too much during the meeting. Now, if we change the context, we could say, meu chefe é muito chato porque ele vive pegando no meu pé. And in this context, we'll be using the word annoying. My boss is very annoying because he's always on my back. So when we use chato to say that something is uninteresting or that it doesn't hold our attention, we're going to be using the adjective in English, boring. And when something's boring, we tend to yawn, or we might fall asleep, we might find it difficult to pay attention to the thing that's happening. Now, if we change the context, if chato means that something irritates you or makes you angry, then we're going to be using the adjective annoying in English. Now imagine, if you confuse the meaning of these two words, it can confuse your listener because the situation that you're explaining might not make total sense. So, for example, if you say that something was very boring, when in fact you mean annoying, and you then continue to say that you were getting irritated or annoyed or angry, then it won't make total sense to your listener why you were reacting that way. So let's think of some things that are universally annoying in regards to people's habits with food, and also some synonyms for annoying. Now, for example, something that's universally annoying is when people slurp their tea or their coffee, which for me is infuriating. Another thing that I find very annoying, and I think in general people find annoying, is when people eat with their mouth open, which is maddening. Or, for example, people who, when they're eating, lick their fingers, which I find infuriating to watch. What about some universally boring things? For example, a film that's so boring that you fall asleep.
They thought I was at Gampere's.
Or, for example, being kept on hold when you're ringing a company for information. Or having to queue wherever, whenever. Bem, eu espero muito que esse vídeo tenha sido útil para vocês e sempre lembrando que se você quiser, o material complementar em PDF está disponível no link abaixo. Falou!